Some forms of meditation require you to have a quiet room, a place to yourself. And sometimes we don't have that in the busy lives that we're living every day. Sometimes we need something small and quick to remind us to come back to the center. And this is where I say you should have one or two techniques so that you can do this. And I'm going to touch on a couple, but I'm not going to get too crazy in detail. You can use one of my favorite techniques, and that is a breathing techniques. And these range from pranayama. So if you want more information on that, you can easily look it up. And this is either pranayama or meditative techniques. And these focus on proper breathing. And these can be very relaxing and helpful in bringing your focus back. And the most simple method is just breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And it's not just breathing, it's focusing on that breathing. So if you want to give it a try right now, here, let's have some fun. So we're gonna give it a little try. I want everybody who's listening right now. So you're gonna right, first exhale, right, out your mouth. And I want you to inhale through your nose, right? A nice inhale. And then you exhale through your mouth. All this time, I want you to concentrate on the breath going in your nose and out through your mouth. And another way is you want to fill up. You don't want to fill up your chest like a smoker does. You know how a smoker smokes on a cigarette and they, fill up their lungs. That's not how it is. So what you want to do is fill up from your diaphragm or from your navel area. You want to fill that up first and fill up with air. And then you imagine the pressure coming back in, pushing back into the navel to where you exhale. And you do that a couple of times. So then let's try that again. We're going to exhale first. We're going to inhale through our nose, pushing our navel out. Filling up our lungs. And then we're going to exhale by pushing our navel in. And that's incredibly, incredibly calming. And that's one of my favorite techniques. But another one of my favorite that I use quite often and is Om. Now, I know some of you may have heard this. Some of you may have seen this somewhere. It's Om. And so it's actually spelled O-M. And what it is, this is the ancient mantra. And it's been used by Hinduism and Buddhism. And the sound of Om is said to contain the entire universe in that sound. It's the first sound from the beginning of time, and it's the whole universe coalesced into a single word. It represents the union of the mind, the body, and the spirit, and encompasses the present and the future. And I use this at times, and when done correctly, this can also be very relaxing. And actually, studies have been done scientifically to prove that it stimulates areas of the brain that fight depression. So the Om is what you want to do is you want to, when you say it's not like Om or it's a purposeful saying. It's Om. And go ahead, try yourself. What you want to do is you want to get that vibration going on. You want to get that vibration going on in your lungs and in your body. So when you do the a nice deep one. And what you want to do is you want to concentrate on the vibrations that are occurring within you. And what this is I like to equate it like a tuning fork. If you ever hit a tuning fork, it's a musical instrument where you hit it and it kind of rings and it's like, that's what Om is like. So it's a tuning fork and it helps tune you and helps line yourself up and keep you at center. And I actually enjoy using this one a lot. I feel that it really brings me back into the state of mind that I should be in. Like I said, there's other ways, and for each person, they choose which one they enjoy most. I tend to like the breathing and the Om the most, but some people like chanting. And one of the most famous mantras for chanting is and pardon me if I don't say it correctly, because chanting is really not one of my things that I do a lot, but it's Om Mani Padme Hum, right? And this is from the Compassionate Buddha, and it means hail to the jewel of the lotus. And they said this calms fears and it soothes concerns. There's also Om Namah Shivaya, right? And this means universal conscious of one. And these are said a couple of times, and they're actually said in conjuncture with the next thing I'm going to talk about, and that is prayer or mala beads. So, those beads you kind of see people wearing sometimes, and they use it for a fashion statement or accessory wear. Those things are more than just a little fashion statement. Although I always find that a lot of people don't realize that. So there's these beads, and they could be in many different forms. Some of them are in the form of a necklace. There's 108 beads on there. And you can wear it as a necklace or as a chain. Or as a bracelet. Or you can have a bracelet that is of 18 or some multiple like that. And so, for example, you would go like a rosary. If anybody's ever done a rosary where you go all the way around the rosary saying the prayer. So it's like that. And you go around, and you're supposed to go 108 times, and really supposed to be 100. The 8 are done in case you messed up a couple. So it's like an extra insurance there. I tend to like the bracelet version because it's 18. So you could do one quick loop around. Technically, you're supposed to do 10 loops around, but let's say you're driving in traffic, you're frustrated, you do one quick loop around the bracelet, and it helps you center yourself. And they call them prayer beads, actually mala beads, or sometimes they say prayer beads, but you're not actually saying a prayer. What you're doing is you're doing a chant, a mantra, and it could be anything to your liking. I've known people who they'll use one and say, I am one with the universe is one with me. They go on to the next beat. I am one with the universe is one with me. On to the next beat, and so on and so forth. And what the technique is really designed to do is that if you're in a situation of high anxiety, if you're in a situation where you're caught up in something that's going on, something's frustrating you, the technique is designed so that you can bring your mind back into focus, right? So that your mind is so focused on saying this mantra as you go through your 10 beads that it allows you to forget what's going on. And because first, when we need to forget something that's going on, first we need to do it mentally. Because mentally we could do it very quick. The emotions that come with that situation, they're a lot harder to turn around. I'm sure we've all experienced that when you've said something or thought something or got into an argument with somebody. It's real quick to kind of change your mind about it. But the emotions that went with that, it's a lot harder to turn those emotions around. So the beads are designed to bring your mind first and foremost back into a focus, so that then through the chanting, right, or where it brings your vibratory frequency back to a centered state of being, your emotions can follow that. And you can leave the situation that was bringing you anxiety or what have you, or frustration. You can leave it whole, right? Mind, body, soul. So that you don't feel like you're carrying luggage. You can let it go. That is the single most important thing I tell everybody in life. You have to be able to let it go. In the next one or two podcasts, we're going to get, I know we've touched on letting it go before, but we're going to get a little deeper on that. and what happens to a spiritual awakening when you don't let things go, and how that comes about. So what I want to do is I'll get into more about the particular technique of mala beads, because I know some people are really interested in hearing about that. And we're going to get into that. But like I said, I want to thank you, everybody, for listening to me this season. Like I said, we're going to get real. I hope everybody enjoys it. I have a lot of great subject matter that I want to touch on. We're going to be touching on spiritual awakenings. We're going to be touching on mala beads. We're going to be doing a little bit more of letting it go. We're going to talk about the separation of illusion and that whole illusion of separation. So there's a lot of great things out there. If anybody wants to hear a particular topic or would like me to talk about something in particular that they would like me to touch on, or answers to something, please hit me up. You can either go to the website on soliloquyradio.com, and you can fill out the form at the bottom to contact me. You can either do that or through Facebook at Soliloquy Radio. You can send me your questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Also, I wanted to give a big shout out to iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio has recently has accepted me to be on iHeartRadio, and they will now be carrying Soliloquy Radio on iHeartRadio. So if that's one of your preferred methods, please go to iHeartRadio, give them a listen. There's not only my show, but a lot of great content on there. If you want to find my show, you can always find it going either to the website and get directly to one of those links. I have the links to where you can find it on any of your preferred platforms. You can find me on Google, Apple, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio. And there's a lot of other carriers that are out there, Spreaker, that are carrying my show out there. So please catch up on season 1. Enjoy season 2. I love the support that I've been getting from some people who have been sending me notes. I really love all the support out there, and I love everybody out there. I want everybody to know peace and blessings, and make every moment count. Remember, you're in control. You are the master of your own universe, and never, ever let life slip by. Thanks for taking the time to tune in to the show. I hope you enjoyed listening. If you did, please leave a review or comment, as your positivity is greatly appreciated. Visit soliloquyradio.com under the Listen tab for links to the podcast via your preferred provider, along with links to the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. I'd like to thank Evening Land, Audionautics, and Vienne for providing music for this broadcast. I would also like to thank all the listeners for their support. And remember, stay focused, stay positive, and make today count.